Thank you, Joe-san. It's my pleasure here to speak to you today about something that I'm very passionate about, and I always carry these with me, and that's the Lego brick and how children's imagination feed our innovation. So I want to just do a quick test of the audience. Please raise your hand if you have Lego at home. Ah, this is good. Leave your hand up if you have lots of Lego at home. It's even better. Leave your hand up if you've stood on Lego before. It's very painful. I've stood on it many times. But, you know, I want to talk to you today about how the children's imagination really feeds how we go to market, how we design our products, and how we go to retail. But before we do that, I want to give you a bit of a snapshot of who we are as a company. So Lego is a Danish family-owned company. We're just entering our 4th generation of ownership. So that picture up there is the 3 generations of owners, Ole Kirk Godfrey and Kirk Christensen's. And we're actually transitioning right now to Thomas Kirk Christiansen, who's going to be our 4th generation of ownership. Lego is an 86-year-old brand, so we were founded in 1932, and we started making wooden toys. And that duck up there, that wooden duck, is actually the first Lego set that was ever produced. And the wheels on the set are actually made out of yo-yos. So they had an oversupply of yo-yos. So they basically chopped them in half and used those as the wheels for the wood. So very creative, even back in 1932. The company's turnover in Danish kroner is 36 billion, so quite modest compared to a brand such as Nike. However, it's around 6 billion US dollars. But obviously the toy industry is quite a small industry in comparison to lifestyle brands. But still, we do okay. We're a brand with a social conscience. So the company donates 25% of all the profits we make each year to children's foundations and to children's causes, such as hospitals, etc. So we're very proud of what we donate and give back to the community. Our employees, both blue and white collar, because we do own our own manufacturing facilities, sits at around 17,300. We've managed to enjoy 13 straight years of growth. We're very proud of this because the toy industry is a very turbulent industry. Because if you think of our end consumer, it's children. And children, unlike Nike as an example, they don't have loyalty to brands. Unfortunately, it's very hard to build brand affinity with children because they really follow the trends in the schoolyard. They follow what they think is cool. So it's our job to hopefully listen to them and tell them what we're doing that's cool from a Lego perspective. So to get 13 years of growth, we're quite proud of that. Our brand is sold, and I actually need to update this, in over 150 countries now, and we're currently on a journey to expand into Asia because being our target market being children, the bulk of the children's population is in this part of the world, so we're currently expanding our presence in Asia right now. And another interesting fact is that 60% of our sales each year come from novelties, will come from newness, and I'll touch on that a little bit more in a minute. So these results have led to some pretty outstanding achievements for our brand recently, and I want to touch on 2 of them. The first one was we were named last year the most powerful brand in the world. And secondly, which we're very proud of, we're actually named the most reputable brand in the world. And if you look at the company that we're keeping there, you know, Rolex, Adidas, Sony, these are massive companies. So it's really not about the turnover that you deliver as a brand or what category you operate in, because as I mentioned earlier, the toy industry is quite small in comparison. It really shows about how you go to market, how you treat your shopper, and how you treat your consumer. So it wouldn't be a presentation without some Lego fun facts. And we have lots of them, but I just highlighted 3. We are the largest manufacturer of tyres in the world. So we actually do more tyre production than Michelin. So over 400 million tyres a year are produced by Lego. Very small tyres, but still, they're tyres. We have the largest population in the world. So we're very proud of this. Over 8 billion minifigures have been produced. So that's a pretty cool achievement. And if you have 6 of these bricks, the 2x4 Lego brick, you can actually make over 915 million combinations. So really the possibilities are endless of what you can do with the Lego brick. So our strategy towards the company's 100-year anniversary, which is coming up in 2032, is we want to reach 300 million children with the Lego brick. So currently at the moment, we estimate we're actually reaching about 100 million children. So we've got a lot of work to do, and that's obviously part of my job to try and accelerate that. But to do that, we need to listen to the consumer, and we need to listen to what the children are telling us and what they want from us. And I think this video really asks the question to the children, what makes Lego cool?
You can just like build something, destroy it, build something else, and you can keep on going forever.
Honestly, I think Lego has done an amazing job with their instruction booklets.
You don't have to follow the directions. You can do anything with them. They're really cool to make.
You get to create stuff that you would never imagine happening in a day-to-day basis.
You can create anything.
Lego City, a world where your dreams come true. Sponsored by me and him.
So you can see they're very demanding, children. Very hard to keep happy. So we really have to listen to them, and we have to do lots of research into what is the latest play pattern coming up in the schoolyard. And children really are our role models. And this picture here is my 4-year-old son, James. He's a little bit older now. He likes the fact that I use him in presentations, so I keep him going. But this is a great example of creativity here. So if I asked you all in the audience, I want you to build a pirate ship. I guarantee you the pirate ship would be brown and yellow. You would have a mast. It would float. It would be very logical, right? You ask my 4-year-old child to build a pirate ship. There's a police station on the pirate ship. There's a palm tree on the pirate ship. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And I think this just highlights the fact that we at Lego really listen to them because they're our role models and they really lead everything that we do across our brand. And I think that's a great example of James there. So the brick's at our core, and obviously, it's a very analog toy, and obviously we're operating in a very digital world. So we really have to evolve everything we do, but we need to remember that this is what made the company great, and this is our DNA. So what we've done is we've evolved innovation around this brick. And I think some examples here are we're going into coding for kids, using apps and actually using Lego bricks to help with that. We're going into robotics, and we're also going into the classroom to help expand the brand and to help expand how the brand is thought of. So this is really merging the physical play of the Lego bricks with the digital world. And this is a big challenge for our company because getting children away from the screens, getting them off their iPads, getting them off their screens is very, very tough to get them to play with a tactile product such as Lego. So we can't compete with that. We have to evolve and we have to be part of that. And we have to see that as an opportunity for us versus a roadblock. I think this product we just launched last year called Lego Boost probably best demonstrates how we're fusing the very physical, tactile product of Lego into the digital world.
This is what you've been waiting for. The app-controlled Batmobile. Now, take it for a spin. To the Batcave, let's go! All right, hit an action button. Awesome. Yeah. Time to step up. Watch the edge. Ready? Let's do it. Yay! Nailed it! Just like Batman. Batteries not included. Smart device and download required for gameplay.
So I think they're two great examples of how we've innovated the very simple idea, which is the Lego brick, and really made it cool and unique to today's trends. The next topic I want to talk to you about is another big challenge facing Lego, and that's obviously sustainability. So we don't hide away from the fact that our brand is, the DNA of our brand is made out of plastic, which is a petroleum-based product. So we as a brand are trying to think of ways of how we leave a better impact on the world that we are operating in. And we've made a very bold decision that by 2030, the Lego Group will use sustainable materials in all its core packaging. That's quite simple, actually, but we want to take it one step further. We want to actually make a commitment that by 2030, we'll investigate alternative materials to produce our brick from. And the first example of that was launched last year, and the project was called Plants for Plants. So you can actually see the plant elements here in the sets started to appear in Lego sets from last year. So about 3% of our sets now have these unique elements in them, which actually source from sugarcane. So it's a very bold decision to make as a brand, but we think it's the right thing to do because once again, that's what people expect from us, and we want to leave a better impact on the world than what we're currently doing. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think that also shows some innovation in a way. Now, we haven't cracked the code on this yet because obviously ABS plastic, which we currently use, gives the brand a lot of great clutch power. So the quality is fantastic. So to find a replaceable material for that is a huge challenge, but we really realize that we need to do something about that in the long term. So let's switch gears and talk about marketing. And marketing's really at the core of the Lego model, and really making sure that we engage with all the different touch points to get people into the brand. And one way we started to do that is co-creation. So this is called Lego Ideas, which is a crowdsourced website. Adult fans of Lego or children can actually upload their unique creation. And if they get over 10,000 votes, the Lego board will consider putting it into production. If you're lucky enough to get your set put into production, you then get to share in 1% of the royalties from that set. So you could be very wealthy if you get the right one. And I think this set here demonstrates it the best. That's the Voltron set, which was launched last year. This was from a designer in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. He was a fan of Lego. He loved Voltron. So we didn't have a Voltron set to fulfill his needs at the time. So he took matters into his own hands and he designed his own set. And now he's doing quite well out of it. The other example is Ghostbusters. This was designed by a gentleman in Brisbane in Australia. Very successful set, and he's done very well out of this. So this is another way of bringing the consumer along for the journey and asking them to co-create products with us. So this is our fan community, and I want to ask, does anyone know what an AFOL is? A few hands in the audience. So AFOL stands for Adult Fan of Lego. I'm sure there's a few AFOLs in this audience. A TFOL is a teenage fan of Lego. A LUG is a Lego user group. So they're people that are actually part of a connected group or a connected community that meet on a regular basis and showcase their creations. So we work very closely with the adult fan community here in Hong Kong. And a fun fact for you, Hong Kong has the largest number of active AFOLs, registered AFOLs, in the world. So Hong Kong is very engaged with Lego. They love the brand, and they meet quite regularly to discuss their creations, etc. So these fans really become our brand advocates. When something happens on social media which might criticize Lego, they're the first to jump on and stick up for us. When we have an event, they're the first to help us and say, hey, can we make some models for your event? Can we help you with your event? So they're actually almost an extended part of our team that work with us to help us keep the brand alive in this part of the world. Some people are actually taking their passion for Lego, and not only are they designing their own sets, but they're actually making a living out of designing and making large-scale models. And this gentleman here, his name's Andy Hong. He was the first certified professional from Lego based in Asia that's actually qualified and is actually approved to design large-scale models and put them in retail outlets. And he's done a lot of work for us here in Hong Kong, and you can see the example with the dragon. That was done for our Chinese New Year event. We had the 60th anniversary of the Lego brick event where he built the world's giant 2x4 red brick. So he's actually taken his passion and actually making a full-time living out of working for Lego. So another pretty cool example. Now, engaging with children through marketing is very tough for us because there's a lot of regulations and laws about marketing to children. So we have to be COPA compliant. So we have to get very creative, very unique in how we target our core audience. So what we've started to do is we've started to adapt a lot of the trends that are happening in the adult world with apps and social media to children, but doing it in a very compliant way. And this example here through the Lego Life app, which we just launched last month, will actually highlight this.
The new Lego Life app. It's full of stuff. You can create your own minifigure, follow other Lego fans and your favorite Lego stuff, like stuff, comment on stuff, and take awesome building challenges. Share your stuff. Lego Hero approved. Download the Lego Life app now. It's full of awesome stuff.
Now, this was a very challenging app to design because we wanted to make sure that obviously we were protecting the child that went online, so there was no predators that could go online and directly engage with kids. So we developed our own unique language called Lego emojis, where they could connect together, upload their creations, and actually get some engagement through, you know, thumbs up, etc. So it was quite a challenging project, but I think it's a great example of how we've innovated our marketing model to adapt to the needs of how children now are consuming media as well. So I want to talk about how we take the customer's feedback seriously and now start talking a little bit about retail. And we use the Net Promoter Score, and I know a lot of big brands use the Net Promoter Score, but obviously it's a very simple question. How likely is it that you would recommend Lego to a colleague or a friend? 10 to 9 are promoters, 6 to 0 are detractors. So it's quite a harsh measurement because we really only take in the 10s and the 9s and then the bad feedback at the end. But this keeps us on our toes. So each time you buy a Lego set, we ask you to give us your Net Promoter Score. We ask you this question. If you call our customer service hotline, we ask it. When you enter our stores and purchase something, we ask it. So this is something we review the scores on a weekly basis within our business, and we take that direct feedback and then we adapt. And I think this has really led to some of the in-store creations you're seeing now at a retail level is direct feedback of what the shopper wants to see when they enter a Lego store. Now, we don't do this just because we're nice people. We do this because actually it helps you generate more revenue. And you can see here on the brand affinity pyramid, the more you move them up to the top, the more they spend. The more they become brand advocates, such as an AFOL or a TFOL, or become part of a Lego user group, they actually engage with your brand and spend more. And you can see there, if you get them to the top of the pyramid, the household spend on Lego actually triples. So it's a really good way of understanding what the shopper expects from your brand. A great example of this is our flagship store that we launched in January in Beijing, where we launched one the year prior in Shanghai, and we got lots of feedback, lots of inputs on that store of what people didn't like and what they wanted to see more of. And using that MPS method, we then designed this Shanghai store, and I'll just give you a bit of a taste of what that looks like. Pretty cool, huh? That cue's pretty cool. We're pretty happy with the cue. So it's important to excite and delight your shoppers when they come into stores. And I just want to touch on a couple of innovations here as an example. The first one here is the minifigure scanner. So basically where you can put your hand up to the scanning device and it will actually tell you what minifigure is related to you. And actually Jenny, who's in our audience, this is her testing the minifigure scanner. Not sure if she's happy about the minifig that she turned out there, but very cool innovation. We have the augmented reality scanner where you can actually put a box of Lego in front of this digital box and it will show you what the set is once you build it and bring the set to life. So that's pretty cool innovation. We also have this one which we launched in Hong Kong in Tai Kung Plaza in December.
你好，第一次見面，握個
This is a
手先啦，老
minifigure which
友。
talks to you.
哇咦，你都大力嘅喎。Anyway，好開心識到你啊！
It's a very cool level of engagement there. We
喂，
can actually have a
警察個頭你都
conversation
咁掂，
with
乜
a
你
large
咁
scale
曳
model in
㗎？
store.
哈哈，講下笑啫，我哋 friend 嚟㗎嘛。
So very cool, and the customization part is obviously really important as well. And then probably the coolest of them all is this one here. This is the mosaic maker. So you can actually get a photo taken of yourself or your family, and then you can build you. How cool is that, right? You can actually build yourself out of Lego on a mosaic. You can hang it up at home on your wall and take it home. So real personalized set. Doesn't get much more personalized than that. And this is extremely popular. We tested this with Toys R Us in Hong Kong at Ocean Terminal. And then based on that test, we then rolled it out across the Asian market. So actually Hong Kong was the first in Asia to get this in-store innovation. And then we actually started to ship it out across the world. And it's proved very successful for the LEGO Group. So I guess, you know, you've got to ask yourself, what does the future hold? What does the future of, innovation for retail hold? And what better way to find out than to ask the kids?
Potentially the bricks may go online. I don't know. Or you could just build something online. It'll probably come to that.
You could do it with your mouth, like you could say up, down. Or you could go with your finger. You don't have to touch the screen. You just go.
Maybe you could, like, design your thing on the computer, and then it'll come to you in the mail, and then you can just, like, design it, like, put it together exactly what you thought of.
It might even go to the mind, controlled by your brain. You just think, okay, I want a piece there and a piece there, red piece there, orange piece there, with a 4-piece brick, and then it appears on a computer screen. The potential is unlimited.
That's it for me. Thank you very much for your time.